Just a little bit about myself. I've been treasure hunting for over 35 years. I started my business, I guess, about 8 years ago. It's been a long road. I'm climbing up there, so I'm pretty proud of my accomplishments. I also, thank you very much. I don't want to get too long-winded about myself. I got to thank the Minelab folks for putting this all together. They have been more than gracious. Just about everything that we asked of them, they have fulfilled every. I can't even say thanks enough. So I'm just going to leave it at that at the point. We are going to show some folks a new product. I won't get into that now. I'll let Gary Shiver talk about that in a little while. Let's see, how can I say this? I want to say thanks to. I got to say thanks to somebody who's really made me in the business that I do very successful. He is giving me a lot of financial help in getting the wheels off the road, and it's my father who holds me together. We have a couple of guest speakers today that we're going to talk. I want to thank Jim Selsberg. Jim Selsberg, stand up, please. Jim is coming all the way from Wisconsin. Jim is one of my distributors, outdoor outfitters. I've had a good business relationship with those folks for a good many years. And I want to thank them for everything that they do for me. And please send my love to Terry when you get back home. Terry's the owner of outdoor outfitters, so don't think of the wrong things. All right, at this point, I think I took enough time on the stage. I'm going to introduce you to the man who made this all happen. 6 months ago, Minelab had come up to me and said, Ron, let's put a dinner together for the metal detecting community, and we want everybody to come. I approached Minelab and said, I would like to incorporate a beach hunt. After all, we were going to be in Atlantic City. We got the beach right here. We got some of the best beach hunters in the world here in New Jersey. That's all you folks, so round of applause. Round of applause. So I reached out to a good friend of mine, and also I'm a club member of his club, Joe Jorgensen. Joe, please come on. Joe, thank you for everything you've done and your staff.
Thank you, Ron. A lot of familiar faces in the room here. I've been metal detecting probably since I was 14 years old, and I think probably when I was around 15, I went to my first organized hunt. It was the Atlantic Treasure Hunters out in Long Island, I believe, was the first hunt we went to. And I hunted for a lot of years with my dad. We went to probably, I would say we went to at least 170 hunts over the past 30 years. He probably went through probably a couple more than I did. And we hunted a lot of years, and my dad passed away back in 2004. And before that, 2 years before that, he had said, do you think you ever run a big hunt down the shore? And I said, no, too much work. You need a lot of people to do that. I'm happy running our club hunt, and that's enough for me. Well, things change as you get older, and the way you think about things. And that's one thing I have to thank is all the people that I had with the staff. It took quite a few years to assemble the group of people that we have to put this hunt on. And it's a tremendous amount of work, a lot of coordinating, and you can't do it alone. So I want people to just stand up as I call your name. And you can get, I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody, but I got a good list here of the people that are behind this. We have Mike King, our vice president of our club. volunteers, Paul Haberman worked on our website, Frank Cavallo, Ian Brissett, Mark Stevie on the camera over here, Rick Anger, and Daniel Anger taking photographs all weekend. And we have my New Hampshire crew, my father-in-law, George Roberge, my sister-in-law, Terry Roberge, Gloria Kuhn, my sister-in-law. The person who decided to put up with Minelab being spoken at the dinner table and everywhere we go for the past 6 months, my wife, Diane. For my daughter, Miss Minelab, Jenny. That's part of my crew, and like I said, I probably forgot a couple volunteers that helped us out. I know some of the clubs helped us with seating. I want to give a big thank you to all you guys out there. You're the guys that made this happen, and thanks for coming out to the club, the hunt, the Minelab event, and supporting us in the raffles. Really appreciate it. Okay, well with that, I want to introduce the people from Minelab. We have Evelyn over here. She's been tweeting this event and getting stuff on Facebook. So we want to make sure that you visit Minelab America Facebook page. Like Minelab, you know, and pass it along. Get the word out there to everybody. And with that, the person that we really want to thank, we got Gary Schaefer, Vice President of Minelab here. Does Minelab know how to throw a party or what? Let's stand and give a nice round of applause to Gary. With that, Gary, we have a small token of our appreciation. We've had a plaque made up here. It's presented to Minelab of America. It says, an appreciation for sponsoring the East Coast Research and Discoveries Association's third time's a charm, Atlantic City Beach on May 19th and 20th, 2012. And with that, Ronnie, we want you to come up. We got a match set here. We got another plaque for Rock, presented to the Gold Digger, an appreciation for sponsoring the East Coast Research and Discovery Association's third time's a charm, Atlantic City Beach on May 19th and 20th, 2012. With that, we're going to turn it over to Gary, and he's going to start explaining and presenting what you've all been coming out here to look for.
Thank you, Joe. Actually, I'm a little bit shaky. I didn't expect this. I don't usually get... I usually can think of things to say, but not right now. All right. So,
just say whatever comes to your mind.
yeah. Probably don't want me to do that, right? If you didn't hear what she said say whatever comes to your mind. And I said, you probably don't want me to do that right now. But I do think... and Ron mentioned, I've got a few notes here as well to try to keep me on track, but Ron mentioned the ECRDA group, and I know that everybody kind of gave a little, a regular golf clap as Joe was talking about the whole team. But I think everybody here today, at least in one way or another, had a good time, right? So, let's show the ECRDA how appreciative we are, but it was just a great day. Everybody stand up. We pulled a hallmark about 7 months ago and declared May 19th National Metal Detection Day. We just said, hey, we're going to call it National Metal Detection Day. Today, there were 6 events coordinated by Minelab and our dealers and clubs across the country, in Mexico and in Canada. And I know of 3 other clubs that decided to have their summer or their club hunt on this day as well. One of them in Missouri, one in Colorado, and one in Virginia. And so, just to share a few of the statistics that I have, I know for a fact that our 6 events, there were just over 2,000 people out with a metal detector looking for whatever they were looking for in their seated hunts today as clubs metal detecting today across the communities of America. So I think that is something that you should all be very proud of. This was the largest event that we have, and it's difficult to put real metrics and numbers around a lot of this stuff, but we just believe that all of us getting together and continuing to build the metal detection hobby and activity and sport and industry is just something that's going to help all of us get better and better at what we do. I talked to Ron and the team about a year and a half ago when we first got the club presidents in the Northeast here together for a dinner at Bally's right across the street. And it dawned on me that we just don't do enough community things together as an industry. And so what we're going to try to do is make sure that every single year, for as long as I can be involved, we're going to try to have at least a National Metal Detection Day where we get out and just have hunts as large as we can with as many people as we can, getting families involved. I mean, I love that kids hunt today. Anybody love that? Yeah. Sitting there watching that. I watched that the whole time. The only problem that I had is that there just weren't enough kids out there doing it. Because, we got to get it more. And frankly, I wanted to do it because I wanted some of those prizes myself, actually. There's a few other people that I want to thank. And I noticed today as we're walking around, we had the people that have been metal detecting for 30, 40 years, 50, 60 years out there detecting today. We also had kids that probably had never held a metal detector in their lives before detecting today. And you think of that span, that's quite an accomplishment at any kind of event, for any industry or anything that is interesting to anybody at all. And so it's intriguing to me when I see people, advanced in their years, that have done lots and lots of things that I'll probably never dream of doing, out there spending all day doing 3 pretty intense hunts in a day like today and not complaining at all, being very happy the very last time we gave awards. So one thing I want to do as a group is I hope there are a few of them here, but anybody over 70 that was out there hunting today, if you just want to stand up, and let's give them a round of applause. Anybody over 70? Because I am Minelab, I do have to throw a little bit of a jab out there. The last young lady that I talked to was right at 80, and she said, I didn't do very well. Maybe it's because I'm using this Tesoro. And I said, absolutely. So, 2 more things I just want to recognize before we get into the CTEX 3030. Anybody under 18 or 18 or under that was out there detecting, stand up. I want to thank you guys as well. Stand up. And then finally, anybody that has been in the armed forces, as a veteran, has served in our armed services, please stand up. I want to thank you guys for everything that you do. Let's talk about the CTX. So you see up on the screen, on the sides over there, as of May 28th, which is Memorial Day, this machine will be on the shelves of our dealers for sale to the public. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it today. We've got 5 units up here. I've got a little bit of a lineup for how everybody that wants to can come up and put it on the arm and test it and kind of swing it around. There's some very interesting technologies that we put into this specific product here to really help people find more treasure, find more artifacts, and really hunt anywhere they want to hunt with the metal detector. This has been a long time in coming. We've actually done surveys at our dealer conference last year. We brought out some different mock-ups of the product and asked our dealers for their feedback, what we want to do, and we got a big chunk of that feedback into this machine. So hopefully it's something that everybody can use going forward. And I do mean everybody. It is an advanced, premium metal detector for treasure and artifact hunting, but it is easier to use than a Safari. I'm a Safari user. The E-Track, you E-Track guys are way too good for me. I can't get all the signals. I don't get all that stuff going on. The Safari's been my machine. This thing is easier to use than a Safari. So if you're even a beginner that's interested in growing with the machine, the CTEX 3030 is a machine that you could grow with. All All right? So let's talk about it a little bit. There are really six, put this up so I can see it, 6 primary functions that you've seen on our website. Hey, did anybody like how we launched this thing on the website? Is that good? Round of applause if you liked it. Don't say anything if you didn't like it. What we're trying to do is make sure that we get people excited and interested in our product before we actually launch it, which is something Minelab historically hasn't necessarily been great at, but we think we're getting better at it. First of all, it's waterproof, and I'll talk about that a little bit. It's got a wireless headphone, so there's a wireless module, so you don't have have to have the wires plugged into your machine for your headphones. It's got advanced iron and iron and conductivity. I just balked on the conductivity. I was going to say point, but I knew that wasn't right. Iron and conductivity, ferrous conductivity rating. So you actually see advanced discrimination even over the E-Track, which I think is the best discrimination machine out there today. Full color display, and I'll show you a couple examples of that full color display in this presentation for how we actually use it to identify targets that are junk and targets that are good, and actually separate ferrous materials and coin separation as well. And just a quick little demo, a little example, and I know I'm probably talking longer than you want to anyway, because you just want to get up here and hold it and see how heavy it is, because everybody's asking me that, which I'll get through in a minute. It's also got fully integrated GPS. Anybody carry a GPS around with them when they hunt? Most of our testers, I would say 9 out of 10 of our testers said that, hey, the GPS technology we have built in to this machine basically replaces their GPS device that they would need to use. We've also got PC mapping that links into, you can actually download the Exchange 2 software into Google Maps. So you can actually track all of your hunts, track all your finds, track everything where you've seen and walk through. So we'll talk about a few of those things as we go through. So first of all, it's all terrain waterproof to 10 feet. This whole thing can be thrown in the water, drop it in the water, you walk along with your E-Track, drop it in the water, oh my goodness, you got to send it into the service department, you get it repaired, right? Drop this in the water, you pick it up and you keep detecting. That's one of the most wonderful things about this machine that exists. If I can get it on there we go. And it's all 100% waterproof just as it is right here, okay? Now the headphones that come with it in the box are the regular COS headphones, and those aren't waterproof. You can drop this in, but if your COS headphones drop in the water, those aren't waterproof, so that could be a problem. The wireless module itself, that we'll see in a minute here, or not. The wireless module, which is down there on the bottom right, that's not waterproof either. And so you can't drop that in the water. You can drop it in the water, but you want to dry it out right away, and it'll probably be okay, but it's not waterproof. So I wouldn't dive with the wireless headphones because that doesn't work very well underwater anyway. It's not a very good conductor of sound or electricity. All right? So that's the only things that aren't waterproof on this, but we do have waterproof headphones, and I'll show you the accessories in a minute. It does have a full color screen and 6 new discrimination features above the E-Track. And the E-Track has a reputation of being one of the, if not the best, discrimination detectors on the planet, and certainly in mineralized soil, and identifying trash from good targets and those types of things. We've got a function within the CTX 3030 called target trace and target trace pinpoint. I'll show you an example in a minute, but essentially what you see is that line drawn on that screen there. You see, when you get a multiple signal, sometimes with an E-Track, it's difficult to tell whether that's a good target or a bad target, and a lot of times it sounds like a bad target because it breaks up. With the target trace on the screen with the CTX, you'll actually see that there's multiple targets underneath the ground, and one of them is actually ringing up in the good target space, or 2 of them are ringing in the good target space. And then you'll want to dig that, right? This isn't a training class, so we're not going to get into all the technical issues of it, but Ron has been through training, Jim has been through training, Joe has been through training, and they can train you a lot better than I can. We also have a tone ID profile. You can actually change your tone IDs yourself. You can make low tones bad if you want, or high tones bad if you want. Whatever you like for your ear, you can actually change those tone IDs yourself. You put them anywhere you want to, or they blink on the screen. You can match the portion of the screen with the tone that's ringing in your ear for your liking. Give you that flexibility. That's been one of the biggest pieces of feedback we've gotten on our machines, is that we force you to listen to our tones, and sometimes people like to change those things around. There's a reject cursor, as you can see a little red there, that little discrimination pattern. The bottom half of the screen is the reject mode, and the red box around it tells me that that is most likely a bad target. Now, a lot of people dig everything, So they'll dig that anyway, but you'll get to know that that's probably, a big nail like I got as a kid today. Ferrous coin separation. So you look at ferrous coin separation. This is an example of, I know that I got a coin signal right here, and all of a sudden I get a ferrous signal. And it'll show both of those targets, as I was talking about before earlier with the target trace. If I have the target trace on, it's actually going to trace the target between the two. So I can see that there's probably a nail on a quarter or a nail on a dime. Something's going on there because I've got a good and a bad signal at the same time. Probably a target I want to dig. Because it sounds like a bad signal, but the machines tell me there's a good target there as well. I probably want to dig that, right? And then also the ground coin separation, where you can actually identify when you have multiple coin signals under the ground. You actually see that on your screen as well. And so these discrimination functions actually give you the illusion that you're going to have more depth with this detector, because you've got a smart coil that actually has a chip in the coil that increases the signal going into the ground, increases the receipt of the signal coming back out. And we've had testers on the same ground that they've cleared with an E-track go back through and find new silver, find new coins that they've never found before. And really, really good testers. Guys like Gary Drayton and Chris Golson and Joe and Ron, those type of guys. And even Jim. Wireless audio, there you see the wireless. This audio is a little, it's like a little cell phone size. You can clip it on your pocket if you want, on your belt, whatever you want to do. Plug the headphones right in there. Any regular quarter-inch headphone jack that you want to use, you plug it right in there. And you listen to whatever you want to do. And you basically don't have the headphone connection to your machine, so you just put your machine down when you dig, and you don't worry about your headphones. Your head going back down in the hole with the digger, like generally happens. And there's no audio lag. We've actually created a new technology called Y sound technology, that WI technology, that doesn't actually have any lag at all. This is better technology than, it's not Bluetooth, it's a custom-written patented technology from Minelab, and there virtually is no lag with the wireless headphone adapter. But again, remember, this is not waterproof, so you shouldn't be diving with the wireless audio. We've also added, has anybody used Exchange on the E-track to record some of the information about your hunts and some of the places you've been? A really manual process to type in your information. Exchange 2 is a total rewrite of what you had seen if you had ever used Exchange on your E-track before. And it's an integration certainly with your PC, but on this box you can actually store, which we'll talk about in a minute, you can store finds on the GPS, waypoints on the GPS, just places you've been. You can track how you walk and how you hunt across a specific piece of ground. But the most important thing that I think is pretty important is that when you look at the mapping, you can actually map a geo-trail. You can store 10 different geo-hunts on here. So one entire hunt you can store right on your detector, 100 waypoints, 100 find points right on your detector. And those are pretty big hunts. Those are several hours, probably several days of hunts. Plug it into the USB adapter in the back, download it to your computer, and it's unlimited storage as long as you have the storage on your computer to save all those hunts. Now the cool thing is, you're marking, if you look at the screen there, the red marks are your find points. Those are things that I actually found. The green flag is where I started my hunt. The blue mark there is where I finished my hunt. But you can track all of this, and then you take it into Google Maps and map it to where you just looked, or where you just were hunting. And so next time I go out to hunt, instead of wasting, 3 hours deciding where I hunted last time, actually pull this up and see it. This is 100% local. The only way you share this with anybody on the internet or anything is you would have to email them these maps. So this is 100% for you. I can see clubs using this for club hunts, marking places where they probably hit tokens, or $50 bags of coins that we might not be able to find on the beach anymore. That type of thing could be really awesome with this kind of machine. But you look and track this, I'm thinking of some of these woods that we all hunt in, some of the deserts when you're prospecting, all that stuff. If you mark your waypoint, you can always find your way back. There are times when I've been fairly concerned, because I'm in the wilderness. I'm not exactly sure how to get back to where I started when I was detecting. So my head's down, I'm just detecting, right? I think the Google Map integration with Exchange 2 is something that's very, very powerful, and it's something that we're all very familiar with to drive the business. I would love to see a lot of clubs, a lot of our dealers with their customers use this to plan out events. I think this could be incredible. think about how much time you can save. You know, go back and look at those 3 red marks lined up in the fine points that I've marked here. I probably want to explore a little bit more of that path and figure out why I've got 3 fine points right in a row. It could be really interesting. If I found stuff there, there's probably some kind of trend that happened. Maybe there's an old railroad track where this railroad tie nail came from or whatever. But that's the type of technology that we built into this machine right here. And it's all in Google Maps, which we're all familiar with. And again, you can store 100 fine points, 100 waypoints, and 10 hunts on this machine without changing it. And then once you download it, you can delete them off of here and go again and do it again. Which is pretty awesome. Some of the, was that a clap? I heard a clap. You can always clap. Clapping is allowed. Yeah. Some of the accessories. And these accessories, I just was talking to Joe about this earlier. I saw a shipping log from my factory, and some of these accessories are making their way to my warehouse in Chicago right now. So shortly after this machine is in your hands, you can also get these accessories. It's not going to be, next year or something like that. 6-inch coil, awesome, especially for pinpointing. Waterproof, of course. 17-inch coil, that big dog on the right-hand side. Great for coverage, ground coverage, a little bit more depth, actually quite a bit more depth. All smart coils. They all have a chip in the coil that gives the signal a boost going into the ground and coming out of the ground as well. So you actually get more depth with these coils. It's all waterproof. The waterproof headphones look like the Excalibur headphones, right? Same company manufactures them, costs, and they are fully waterproof. You just remove this panel off the back here with a little button push, and you plug in your waterproof coils and you're ready to go. That's all you do. The bottom, below the waterproof headphones, is the alkaline battery pack. That's an accessory as well. Some people like that as a spare. And then that's the little wireless modules, which you see on the bottom right hand side. All right. Accessories coming with it, and there will be additional accessories as we go. And then, as we want to, right now there are no third-party coils, but since we have smart technology in the coil itself, it's our decision if we want companies like Coil Tech or those types of companies creating additional coils, which we probably will do if there are demand for coils that we don't want to necessarily manufacture ourselves for this machine. None of these coils, none of the E-Track coils or SE Pro coils or anything like that are compatible with this machine. None of these coils are backward compatible with the E-Track either. The reason is because of the smart technology we built into these coils, and so there's no backward compatibility. These are separate CTX accessories. Okay, just to be clear on that. Pricing, anybody interested? So our Minelab authorized price, or MAP price, as we say, you'll see a retail price higher than this listed on websites and things. This is the price that we authorize our dealers to sell it for. This is the price to you as our customers. $24.99 for the standard model, which is what you see here. And that includes the wireless module. It also includes an alkaline battery and a car charger. The starter model, actually that's what you see here. It doesn't include the alkaline battery, the wireless module, or the car charger. So that's $22.99. If you bought all those things separately, of course, you can always buy those things separately. If you buy them all separately at the outset, you're going to save some money by getting the standard pack rather than the starter, which is why we bundle that way. Available for sale at dealerships on Monday, Memorial Day, and many dealers have it on display today because they've gone through training already and they already have a machine, and they have it on display today in their shop. So you can actually go and talk to your dealers about getting this thing in your hand and really trying it out. Today you're not going to be able to really try it out because we're in a conference room, but you should be able to strap it on and see how it feels with the balance and the weight and the ergonomics of it today, which we'll do in just a minute. Okay? All right, so enough of me talking. I do have some volunteers to help me. We've got 5 machines up here. Does anybody want to see what this thing feels like on your arm? Play with the carbon fiber. What's it called? Shaft a little bit, and see how far it goes in, all that stuff. Good. We'll let you do that. So I have 5 machines. I need 4 people to help me. So Jim, Joe, Ron, Evelyn, coming up. Each grab a machine. I want you guys to spread out across the front here. What we're going to do, rather than crowding along the corner here where I was protecting the machines earlier, what I'm going to do is ask Joe and Jim and Ron and Evelyn and then myself to spread out across the front And we're not going to be able to detect in here. I'm not going to be able to let you leave with them. So these guys are also doubling as bouncers. I'm not going to let you be able to leave, but I do want you. So I'll be honest with you. The weight's the same as the E-Track. You know, it's an ounce here or there, lighter or heavier than anything. Put them on the scale, they weigh the same. What I need you to do, though, is actually put that on your arm. This is an adjustable armrest, too, by the way. So if you have a longer arm or a shorter arm, you can adjust this thing and make it fit your arm. I can't adjust this one arm right here on stage. I should have. There we go. So for the longer, shorter arms, it's also flexible. So it's not just hard and it's going to dig into your arm. So it's really a fairly comfortable fit. But you have to feel the balance of this machine. I've detected for hours, about 6 hours with a 17-inch coil on this thing, and I wasn't stiff at all when I got done. If I did that with an E-Track, I would be hopefully digging a lot more than swinging it because the E-Track is pretty heavy. Now, you will be able to turn it on and see the screen and things, but you might get a lot of, obviously, interference and that kind of thing, so if it gets really annoying, make sure you shut it off. But what we're going to do is spread across the front here, the 5 of us. Come on in, put it on, feel it a little bit, see what it feels like, touch the machine, get to be where you really, really want one, and then we'll take it away and let the next person go, all right? All right, so we'll line up across the front here. Thanks for your attention, guys. The new CTX 3030. Here we go.
There, spin another coin. Do that coin thing again. No, had a couple of tiny holes that were.
Everybody thinks we want to buy a metal detector, and I think it's cool.
Because of Minelab's generous donation in that last task force hunt, we collected $5,525, which Gary's going to present to Avery for the task force. Avery, I'm just going to let you say a few things about the task force real quick. Okay, we have 7 machines. We have 6 of them here, and 1 of them you're going to get a certificate for. We have 7 machines. We have some sand scoops. We have some diggers, and we have 50 gift vouchers. Ron, I still didn't find those vouchers, though. Okay, I got them. We have $50, $25. These are like cash. So we got quite a few prizes to give away here. We're going to let Gary start off, and then we'll have everybody pick a prize here.
705. This is for an Xterra 705.
Okay. This is for the Xterra 705. Ben Lowenfels. Where's Ben?
Anyone?
Come right around the top.
Yep. Come on up. Gotta get a picture. Are you Ben? Yes, it's yours. Big hands. Come on, right up. Let's get a picture. Show everybody what you did.
Good job, man.
Woo! Congratulations. Woo! Thank you, buddy.
Okay, this is for an Excalibur. First name Dave. Grigorski. Dave Grigorski. Comes down from Connecticut. Where's Dave?
Congratulations. Working opportunity.
You can hold on to this, and if you can pick a ticket, I'll hold this around.
Another X-Con.
This is for another Excalibur. First name Paul. Excuse the pronunciation of Shimmerfeld. We got an E-track coming up next. I think if I say the first name, they're going to know instantly who this is. Murat O'Hara.
Hold on, pictures. Gotta do a pic. You guys are
One of our volunteers. He came down from New Hampshire. George Burge. I don't want to hear any rumors. This is my father-in-law. Hey, Rex. Anyone else with the machine?
What is this one? Yeah, do that one.
Okay, this person came down from, I think, Massachusetts, looks like. Val Budd.
What is it for?
This is for the 707.
705.
705, rather, sorry. 705.
Where's that certificate?
Val Budd. Ron.
Come on up. Let's take a picture.
Okay.
705 winner. 707 winner.
Thank you. Sweetheart, come over here, please. Me? Okay.
Can you pick a ticket? Can you pick a ticket first, please? This is for defense 5000.
Okay, this is for the GPX 5000. One of our PA hunters, Fred Burry. Fred, where are you?
Come on up.
Okay, we still have one more day of excitement for everybody. So tomorrow we're going to have a real good time. I want to thank the South Jersey folks for letting us North Jersey people come down to your beaches. I know we're a little territorial at times. However, we hope to do this again next year, hopefully here in Atlantic City. And thank you for attending. I hope everybody had a good time. God bless.